Let's get started on our Get Started page. To change out the background color of this header area, click on this blue section icon here. Click background and input the background color that you would like. To change the background color of this Get Started area and to change the placeholder text, click on that gray module settings icon. Put in the text that you would like here. Usually it's the title of the page or your main point of the page. To change the background color, go down to background and input the background color that you would like. To change the border color, click the design tab, border, and you can change the roundedness by clicking here. Border style. Border width, you can change out how wide the border is. And the border color. You can change out the border style down here. Once you're done with that area, click the Save button. To change this icon, click the Gear Settings icon button. You can highlight this, backspace it, and add your own icon here by uploading it. To change the placeholder image, click this Module Settings icon. Click the Delete button and add your own image by uploading to your media library. Now, these buttons that are off to the side are meant to be menu buttons for navigating within your website. The patients, physicians, and frequently asked questions are not pages. They are sections on your website. So the way to input the links for that would be to click on the gear icon of the individual button, click the link, and you'll see that my website name is here, .com/get started. Get started is the page that we're on. And then the identifier so that your website knows where to drop down to on the Get Started page is #patients. So when I click that, patients, it drops me down here to this patient information area. I put in the identifier in the section settings area under CSS ID, and you'll see that it's patients. So that drops your website down to this area right here, and that's how it's done. It's done in the section settings area under CSS ID. So that's where that hashtag comes from. Same thing for physicians. The link is set to my website, the Get Started page, because we're in Get Started, and the hashtag is physicians. So that physicians area is down here. It's not in the blue section settings for this one. It's under the row settings because this is where it's at within that section. So I click that gear icon, advanced ID, and you see that physician is there. And that's how it knows where to drop down to on your page. The frequently asked questions is the same thing as well under the link. But this is the services page because if the frequently asked questions are not on the Get Started page, they're on the services page. So it's going to tell your website to go to the services page. That got messed up. It'll tell your website to go to the services page, and it's going to drop down to that frequently asked questions section because that identifier is there. So that's how that works. To change the button style, if you want to change them all at once, you'll click and hold down the Shift button, left click each box, make sure they're all highlighted. Click that gear icon box, design, button, and you'll change out the button text color. You can change the button size, the button background color, the border width, the border color. Let's see. The radius, the spacing, the font, and the button, button font. Where's the text color? Oh, all the way back up there. We already changed that. Disregard. Now you can change the button icons. You're going to need, if you're going to want to do them all at once, you can change them all and it'll globally change. If you want to change each individual one, you'll need to go into each individual settings icon once you've gotten out of this area you've gone to the settings within each button, you can change it to have each individual button is different. I will show you that now. Once you're done with these changes, you can click the Save button. If you wanted to just change one button's icon, you go to that specific button, go to the Design button, and you scroll down to the button icon. See? It changed right there. Once you're done in this area, you can go ahead and scroll down to the placeholder content. Both this section and this section here, the comprehensive and the quality, the placeholder content text settings is not set to default. So if you wanted to change out the design, the look of the text, you're going to click on that text module settings area, click text for this comprehensive evidence-based one, and you can click out the font to change it and the text color. For the quality behavioral services, you'll change out the placeholder content. Make sure to put your business name here and whatever content that you want. To change out the heading text font, it's not set to default. You can change it under heading font H1. The text font is set to default, so it will change with the theme customizer. Moving on to the patient information area, to change the background color, you'll click this blue settings icon and click on background to change the color. Placeholder text is found here. Patient information is not, the heading title is not set to default. So if you want to change that out, you'll click the design button. Heading text in H1, you can change it out there. These little buttons here are meant to be another way of navigating within your website on this particular page. So these are more drop downs, they're text areas. To change the way these look, if you want to do it all at once, hold down the shift button, click the box, click each box that you're going to change, and one always likes to unhighlight. So make sure to go back and highlight that one holding down the shift button. Click the gear settings, click the design tab, click heading text. I believe it's set to default, but let's see. So it's set to default. If you wanted to change it out there, you can under H1. And if you wanted to change out the color, it would be under heading text color. If you want to change the background of each box, it's under background under the content tab. And once you're done with that, once you're done making those changes to the box, if you wanted to change and add a border, it would be under the border icon. Once you're done, make sure to click Save. To change out the text and the link, you're going to need to do that individually under each module settings. So the How to Get Started area, it drops down to literally this How to Get Started area. So if you wanted to change the heading of that, you're going to want to change this menu title here. The link, it is based off of dropping down on your individual page. So it's set to the website. The Get Started page goes after the slash, lets your website know you're on the Get Started page. And then the How to Get Started, it's the hashtag, is the identifier within this row. Let's see if it's in the section. Click on section settings. Nope, it's within the row. For this one, it's within the row under advanced and ID. So how to start is the identifier. So that's the ID that you're going to want to go here in the How to Get Started link. So for insurance payment and info, you can change out the placeholder text there if you would like. It's going to drop down to this insurance and payment info area. Your website goes here, / Get Started for the Get Started page. Hashtag is insurance, and that is likely found in this blue section settings. Yes. So if you wanted to change out the CSS ID here, be sure that you change it out in the link that's up here. Same thing with forms. If you wanted to change out the placeholder title and link, it would be under the text settings. So make sure you put your website here / the Get Started page. If you change the name of this page, make sure you change all of these links. And the hashtag is hashtag forms. And we'll double check down here. Okay, so it's under the blue. It's under the section settings. Forms. So if you wanted to change that ID, you could do that there, but make sure you also change it in the menu itself. So that's how to change this little menu area. This how to get started section, if you want to change out the font, you're going to need to click on Module Settings, Design, and Heading Text under H1. Make sure you put your business name in here. Now these tabs are basically text boxes, so if you want to change out the background, you can do it all at once. Hold down the Shift button, click each box, let go of the Shift button, click the Module Settings, change the background under Background, Heading Text, there is no border on here, as you can see. Once you're done with that, click Save. To change the box style for each box, if you wanted to change these boxes to match with the changes that we would have made, you're going to hold down the gear settings icon. I don't know why that whole thing isn't highlighting. That didn't work. Let's try that again. Gear settings icon, holding down the Shift button. Okay, click Module Settings. So there's no background color on here, so we don't need to change the background. Click the Design button to change the border color to match whatever color it is that you change these tabs to. So we had changed it to that blue. This center column is a little bit different than these two text boxes on the side because they do have these tabs. So the way that I have it set is that the border that is here is actually set within this column structure. So if you want to change out this border on the second column, click the gear row settings, click the column 2, the middle column, the settings, click design, border, and then you'll change that out here. Once you're done, click the save button. If you want to change out the text, just go ahead and highlight over that area and click to change and put in your text. Same thing applies in these placeholder text areas. You can change out the placeholder text and icons the way that I've shown you with other parts of the tutorial. So the only thing that's different is right here are these little tab modules. If you don't need them, they're meant to show extra information. So if you have information you want to give to families based off of private pay, insurance referrals, or whatever you would like, that information is what goes in here. And I just kept them in tabs in order to keep the information condensed. If you don't need that, you can just go ahead and hit delete. If you do need them, the way to change the boxes, the style would be, you're going to want to change both of them at the same time. So hold down the Shift button. Click the module settings icon for both until they're both highlighted. Let go of the Shift button and click the gear. Now to change the icon, it's under icon, you can change the color here. The open toggle background is set to default white. You can change that there. Closed toggle background is how it looks when it's closed. So you can change that there. The text is the title text color when it's open and closed. So when it's open, it's the color that it is when it's open. So that's set to black. You can change it to whatever color you would like. And I think it unhighlighted, which is why. So if that happens, just be sure to click the save button and it will take the changes. And then click to re-highlight it. Let's see. Click. Okay, it's not wanting to. Okay. So if that happens, just click the save button and then re-click to highlight both of them and go back into it. I was clicking to show you, and so it ended up unhighlighting what I was doing. So closed title text is the color when it's closed, like right here. So that's how you would change it. Probably not for the same color background. Once those changes are made, you're going to want to, let's see, unhighlight or make sure you're not highlighted in both of them, and then click the gear setting icon for each one individually. To change the title of this one here, you just put your title in and put the information that you would like in there. Same goes for this area here as well. This physician referrals area, to change the background, it's under the green row settings. The text is placeholder text. So the physician referrals is under H1, heading text, H1. It is set. You will have to change out the heading font and the underline color. So the underline is set here. So if you don't want an underline, you click that underline button. You can change the color of the underline here. H3 is this font color here. So if you wanted to change that, it's under the H3 tab. This box here, you would change the background color by clicking on this gear settings icon. It's a call to action settings. So you can change the title here, the button information here, the content, the background is found under background. Oh, that is a harsh color. Let's not. Okay, so under the design settings, you could change out the title text here. Under H2, tile size, body text is under there. And you can change out the button settings here. Once you're done with that, click the Save button. Moving on to the insurance payment section. The way to change out the background color for this section is the blue icon. Background, to change out the background color. Border under the section settings design tab to change out the border width and color and font or size. Once you're done with that, click Save. The insurance and payment area, the H1 is heading text is set not to default, so you will have to change that out. Same thing with this insurance plans area. If you want to click in there, the H1 has the underline settings here. Now these little boxes, they're all the same except for these ones that are toggles. So I have these toggles in there for those who want to add additional information. So if you have insurance companies that have information you want to add, that's where you would use the toggle. If you just have simple insurance companies that don't have additional information, you say you don't need referrals from a specific insurance or there's no information that you want added, or you're not in network and you want to add that information. So if you don't have that, feel free to just delete these boxes that you don't need, the toggles. If you just have basic information, again, you can just delete these. So the way to change the basic boxes, you're going to want to change them all at once so they all match. So hold down the Shift button, click Module Settings. This only works for like types of modules. So this won't work for this one. So make sure to unhighlight that. And sometimes it gets wonky. Shift button, highlight, highlight, highlight the like boxes only. Click the gear settings. Click background. Click design. So the border, if you want to add a border to it, you can. And you can change the roundedness up here. So once you've made those changes, click Save. And then to change the toggle boxes, you're going to highlight by holding down Shift and only clicking on those toggle boxes. Click the Design button. Icon, you can change the icon color here. Toggle, the open toggle background is when it's open. It's set to white. The closed toggle background is here, so you can change that. Title text, you can change the text color, you can change the font. Oops, we're in the wrong one. Okay, title text. So that's for the open text. So that's for when it's open. Scroll down to closed title text to set the color for when it's in its default closed state. And you can change the fonts there. So once you're done changing out the design, click the Save button. And then to change the placeholder text, you just click the gear icon on each individual one and you put that information in there. Same thing with the toggle. Click on the toggle, you can add your own title, then the body information. The private pay area is the same as these areas up here, like the physician referrals. To change the background, click the green gear icon, background. The private pay area, you can change the underline color by clicking heading text and the underline settings there. You can change the make a payment section, change the background under background. So make a payment, it really works if you have a payment service like PayPal, or you have like QuickBooks that you have a link where people can go and they can make payments directly. It's a good option if you have a payment processor, especially like PayPal, because you can go and they can just make their payment on like your PayPal Me and include their invoice information. So the link would go down here and you would put in like your PayPal Me information or your QuickBooks information or your Stripe, like make a payment information there. To change the button, it's under design and button. You can make those adjustments there. The forms area. So this is for people that want to, or for businesses that want to add forms for their patients to fill out, print out, and bring in. Or if you have a service that you're able to collect information that is HIPAA friendly, you can put the links in these informations and you would just want to change out the download button to fill out or go to. So these are just these text box areas. So it's set to 3 columns. So each column, let's see. It's not. So it's set to 3 columns and each column has its own setting. So if you wanted to make global changes across these 3, you would click the highlight button for each one. Click the settings. Click background. And it will make changes there. Click design to change out the border and the body text. So the title text, you could change here. You can change the color. Body text. There is no body text, but if you needed to change it, it would be under body font. The button, you can change here. This is the style of the button that you're going to be changing in this area. Button background. And you can make any design changes there. So once you've made those changes, if you want to change the border of that, scroll down to border. And you can change the border out. So once you're done making those style changes, click the X, or I'm sorry, I'm going to click the X button. You can click the save button to save your changes. To change out the link of each individual form area and the information, you're going to click on each individual area. You can change the title here. The button you can change. So if you're not wanting them to download, what you're going to do is just put in like go to form or whatever you would like to put in there. You can add body if you wanted. So the link. So the way that you're going to do uploading forms, if it's something you want them to download like a PDF, the way to do that is you're going to go to your dashboard. And to upload a PDF to your website, you're going to click the Media tab and click Add New. So then you would just add your PDF here, and it would show up in this area. So let me go to, let's see. So if this was a PDF, I'd click on it. If this was the right file, you'll notice down here it says Copy Link. This link is what you're going to pull and keep for this link here. So if you uploaded a registration form, you want to get that link to that registration form, and you would copy and paste it here in this box under link. Oops, obviously I didn't copy it. So highlight that, copy it, Control C, and then Control V it into this space. So what that does is when you have a client click on this, it will automatically take it to that form and they can download it and print it from your website. So that's how that works. You're going to do the same thing in each of these boxes here. I have gone over how to change out this global area. So if you've made changes on previous pages, specifically the services page, then you already know how to change it. And you know that once you make changes here, it will reflect across every single page that this global area is on. So that's it for the Get Started page, and you're all done with that.